not about the losing the weight thing, as I said. It's really about what you want to feed your whole body, because it affects your brain, it affects all your internal organs, it affects the quality of your skin, it affects the inflammation in your digestive system and in your joints. That's what food does. The first time I tried veganism failed miserably because I wasn't getting enough protein. I was eating too many vegan crackers and cookies, and it said vegan on the box. Too many boxes, too many bags with the word vegan on them. Still processed. I just needed to hear from her. And when I went shopping here, I bought blueberries, strawberries, and blackberries, raspberries, and I bought a bunch of nuts. And I've been snacking on single ingredient, yummy foods ever since. All right, we're gonna get into the food thing now. And this is a dangerous territory for me because there are so many different opinions about how to eat better so that you're not only losing the weight. Again, if it's not about the losing the weight thing, as I said, it's really about what you want to feed your whole body, because it affects your brain, it affects all your internal organs, it affects the quality of your skin, it affects the inflammation that's in your digestive system and in your joints. That's what food does. And I had an amazing conversation with Michelle Pettis the other night. She was a week ago tonight. And look, here's what my food thing shifts. I'm going to just eat whatever. This is way back when, because I'm fit and I'm strong and I'm young and I have a great metabolism. So I'm going to cheat like crazy. And, I look pretty good and I'm pretty active. But I got older. Oh, time keeps on ticking like it will until you're gone. And I noticed that that kind of eating whatever just was a problem. So I talked to some experts, and then I tried vegetarianism for a while. That kind of worked and didn't work. And then I never did paleo or primal stuff. I wasn't like a super meat guy, but I liked I liked my steaks, and I liked my chicken, and I liked my fish. And then I was a flexitarian forever. You know what I mean? Like whole foods, but all whole foods, all whole foods. And then for whatever reason, there was this big, a lot of documentaries about veganism and all these professional athletes that became vegan and their inflammation came way down. And then my buddy Scott Morgan did it for like 2 weeks, and then he just kept going, and it's working like crazy for him. Now, the first time I tried veganism failed miserably, because I wasn't getting enough protein. I was eating too many vegan crackers and cookies, and it said vegan on the box. Too many boxes, too many bags with the word vegan on them. Still processed, you know what I mean? And then I had a lot of stress with my veganism, and then I got Ramsay-Hunt syndrome. I'm not saying that the veganism caused the Ramsay-Hunt syndrome. I'm just saying that at that point, being a vegan under that much stress with not enough the right kind of protein wrecked me, completely wrecked me. And so, then I got all the blood work, and then it took me forever to recover, and yada, yada, yada. And then there's certain foods I got tested for, and meat and fish and chicken were on the okay list. Cashews weren't, sesame seeds weren't, tomatoes weren't, wheat, soy, corn, and dairy wasn't. And then when I made that dietary shift, things improved for me. And so where am I now? Well, let me say this. Where was I before I had that conversation with Michelle last week? Plant-based. I have a plant-based home food delivery. So meals come to the house and they're all plant-based. And it's like, whatever, heat them up and eat them. You know what I mean? But I was falling back into that vegan cookies and crackers and chips thing. And my inflammation was down. My knees weren't hurting anymore. But I was dealing with fatigue again. Now, it wasn't like I had Epstein-Barr. I wasn't taking naps all the time like I needed to back in the day. But I just noticed that, I had a six-pack and permanent love handles. And that's not a good look. You know what I mean? But then again, I'm getting into the aesthetics. I am a guy. I am a human. I do have an ego. There's no question about that. And so I was listening to Michelle. Every time she looks at food, does this food have the nutrients that I need to serve me and help me be healthy? Is this good for me? Is this good for me? And man, I'm not even going to tell you the brand, but they're small vegan, gluten-free vegan cookies. I have 1 or 2 a night. There are these, a lot of cauliflower chips and crackers and stuff that are, you know what I mean, that have, whatever. And I got here to Jackson Hole, and I went to shopping, and all the usual, it was trippy, man. I'm going to just tell you that it's just a weird thing that you get information from the strangest places. Here's this woman I don't even know, and I have this incredible conversation with her, and just listening to her story, that's all I needed. I just needed to hear from her. And when I went shopping here, I bought blueberries, and I bought strawberries, and I bought blackberries, and I bought raspberries, and I bought a bunch of nuts. Mixed nuts. And I've been snacking on single ingredient, yummy foods ever since. Now I've lost 6 pounds in 5 days. Not my intention. But it just goes to show you that all that crap that all that vegan, healthy, processed food matters. It matters. Regardless of what it says on the front of the box, regardless of what it says on the side of the box, and regardless of what it says on the back of the box. So here's what's crazy. I skied 3 days in a row. I mean, day 1 and day 2 were like half days, but there's nobody here on the mountain. Up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, right? Get on the chair, up, get on the chair, up. I covered the whole mountain. The last day, I started at 9, and I came off the mountain at 4:45 p.m., 9 a.m. to 4:45. I mean, and I was with a ski instructor who was like, let's get in the trees, let's get in the steep stuff, let's get in the narrow stuff. My adrenal glands and my cortisol levels were like, full blast, just, you know, I mean, because I could have, scary and a lot dangerous is where I was. But I was with a good instructor who knew what he was doing, and he walked me through it. And I probably burnt 3,000 trillion calories that day. I mean, it was crazy. But I was able to keep going. I was fueled properly all day. I had my electrolytes with me. I did it at lunch. I ate a super healthy lunch. I would have probably cheated a little bit because I felt like I earned it. And I was waiting to be, you know, cramping all night long, and I didn't. And I know it was the food. And the title of this, which I should have said early on, is every morsel matters. Every morsel. Not just some of them, all of them. And you have to decide, and look, there's an ebb and flow over the course of months and years and decades of how you eat, and you overeat and you undereat and you diet and you don't diet. I mean, that's just almost all of us. And I'm no different than any of you. You know, I've always been experimenting. In this eat only super nutritious food phase I've been in for like a week. I don't know. But right here, right now, it seems that when I think every morsel matters, my energy is up, the quality of my sleep improves, my skin looks better. You know, I mean, everything about what you want to be is better. So I'm afraid to cheat again. I'm afraid to have the vegan cookie. I'm afraid to have the cauliflower crackers. You know what I mean? I like the way this feels right now. And this means I'm not the 90-10 guy right now. I'm the 98-2% guy right now. 98% of what I eat is healthy, nutritious, mineral and vitamin filled food. Single ingredient stuff, you know. So you have to figure out where you're at. I mean, if you're still struggling with your weight and everything else, this is a level of discipline that some people just can't get there. Cannot get there. But I bet you could try for a week, see how you feel. Forget about how you look. Forget about the numbers on the scale. Oh, don't do that now. Eat this, because if you got the other stuff in the house, I almost swore. If you got the other stuff in the house, it's going to tempt you, and you're going to eat it, and you're going to, right? So give it to your kids, give it to your neighbors, get rid of it, don't get it in your house, and go shopping and get the good stuff. Get the nuts, get the berries, get the, the healthy, super healthy, clean. Doesn't have to be plant-based, whatever you want to do. But just make sure that it's as nutritious as it possibly can be so it feeds your body properly. That's all I'm gonna say about that. All right.
Hello, it's Tony Horton. How are you? You know, I'm glad that you've really enjoyed this interview. I can tell because you're watching it, because I can see you. Anyway, since you're here, I know you're really gonna fall madly in love with this next one. I mean, I'm talking about knowledge consumed by you. All you gotta do is go right over there.